up guys, Kaz here from GiveWave Studios, and on this one I'm going to show you how to transform the 5 parts that you see here into the utility zipper for the back of your Prowler Aj1 1s by popular demand, with working stash pocket for the back. Still not a fan of the side pockets, so I haven't made them yet, but this at least made sense for me to do as an add-on, or if you're coming from this from the first video, I'll be letting you know a few tips and tricks on how to install it as you are assembling your part. All right, let's get it. Okay, so we have a 7-inch zipper that we're going to be using for this. We have the top and bottom of our part. This is the outside and this is the inside. This one piece is the inside. So first off, we're going to start by heating everything up and heat shaping it. So from your pattern, you want to transfer this hole out. That's going to be the cutout for the zipper to show through. Now, if you feel that this is too wide or too narrow, you can go ahead and make it as wide or as narrow as you want, depending on the amount of zipper that you want to show through. So feel free to customize this to your needs. So I'm just gonna jot that in here, and then I'm gonna cut that out once it's ready. Okay, so now we're gonna heat and shape our pieces. Okay, and for the most part, you're just curving these outer lips a little bit. You're just kind of rolling this onto itself so it creates a bit of a lip. It's really hard to see on camera, but that's really all you want, because these are going to connect edge to edge anyways. Okay, so we will heat and shape these a little bit as well. Same thing with this, just a little bit of shaping, a little bit of curve here and then here. Just kind of roll these edges like so. Just the outer edge on this. You don't want to roll the inner edge. You want to leave that as straight as possible for when we put the back end of our part. So just rolling the outer edges of this like crescent moon piece. Okay, and then before we do anything else to it, you want to fold this in half. All right, and find the exact middle point, and you just want to put a mark on there. Okay, you're going to do the same thing for this piece. This does have a top and bottom, so make sure you label your parts. I would label it more so on the inside, that way even when you plasti dip this, you can still see what's top and bottom, and then you can have everything match up. So same thing here, I'm going to fold this in half. Okay, I'm going to find my middle point, put a line down it. I'll do the same thing for the bottom, because eventually we're going to do that as well. Put a line down the middle. Okay, that's good. And now we're just going to put contact cement on the edges and glue the 2 parts together. All right, and then now we're just going to assemble these. I'll do this with you guys. So edge to edge. Okay, try to get it to be as flush as possible, and just kind of focus on one side, and then you can glue the other side afterwards. So believe it or not, this short piece should and will end towards the tail end of this long piece. Okay, just patiently, nice and slow, get this to be as flush as possible. And there we go. Okay, and just kind of squeeze the 2 ends together. Okay, get out any gunk, and then focus on the other side. Same thing. Okay, and then we have 1 half. So we're gonna do the exact same thing for this top half, and then we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so now that that's all set, real quick, before we put on our zipper, so this circle needs to be behind the pull tab of the zipper, and then we're just going to trace where this line is so we know where to put our glue so that it doesn't show on the outside. So hopefully you guys can see this on camera, but this is, yep, here we go. So I traced my lines there. So that's where I'm gonna put my glue. All right, so once we're at this point, what we're gonna do is we're going to clean up our seams with some sandpaper or rotary tool, and then we're going to heat our part one more time, and then we are going to plasti dip this. So you want to plasti dip before you put the zipper, and then we're gonna plasti dip again after we've assembled the zipper, because we need this open to be able to assemble the zipper, and then we can close the back. Or you can plasti dip both sides separately and then put them together. All right, parts have been plasti dipped, so now we're just going to go ahead and install our pieces, starting with our zipper. Okay, so we had put glue at the outlines of where our zipper should be, and then so we're going to install our zipper. We'll start obviously from the inside, trying to isolate it to one side at a time. So you want to put the beginning of your circle right up against the start of your zipper, right there, and then just one side at a, not so much one side at a time, you can do both sides together, but just try to make sure that you're applying it evenly so that you don't have one part of the zipper like tighter than the other. Okay, and just roll that all the way around and press it into place. Make sure that you're gluing where you need to. All right, and that's that. With whatever excess you have, you can cut it out so that it kind of hides behind your foam. Okay, so like that. And now that we have this, we are going to attach our clips. I'll go over this at the end of the video on how this goes, but let's just focus on this right now. Now you don't have to do clips, you can do any other type of strapping, but I basically have some felt that I have glued to itself to create a strip. So you can use EVA foam, you can use nylon webbing, elastic waistband, whatever you see fit to make this happen. So I'm going to thread this through my clip. This does have a sticky back already, this thing that I'm using, so I don't really have to glue it, I just have to stick it to itself like so. All right, so we have a piece, and so now what I'm going to do is basically bring the back end of the tab right up to the edge of the foam, and then cut any excess that would be seen from the side of the zipper. So this right here, I'm gonna cut that right there. All right, so this is the part that I'm gluing on the inside here. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some contact cement on this. Gonna do the same thing for this. Bring this over, all right, cut out any excess that would show at the pink opening, and then put the glue on the part that's going to get adhered to the inside. Go ahead and peel back my zipper, install my piece. Okay, push this back in place. Right, so now I have that on this side. I'm gonna go ahead and prep my other side right here. Slide this in. Okay. Drop that in. All right, so now that we have our attachments figured out, we're gonna go ahead and glue our backside now, since our part will open and close. So I've already put some contact cement on the inside here and on the edge of this here. So we're gluing the back piece of this to the edge of that. Again, you want to start from your center. I don't know if you can see, but I did mark my middle just like we did initially, and I'm just going to try my best to line that up. It's a little harder to see now, but okay. And then try to work it one side at a time. So that's one. Tend to start at the middle. Okay, and then whatever didn't line up, you can do some light trimming to go ahead and fix that up. But that's basically our pouch. Zips open, zips close, and you can sash some stuff in there. And you can go ahead and attach that to your shoe. Clip and clip. And there we have it. All right, cool. So with the installation out of the way, let's talk about the other end here of the clip. So if I will put up on the screen the moment at which you should be installing these from the initial video of the shoe tutorial. And so this line that you see here, right, before you install this panel, you want to have this installed already. So before you put down this 2mm panel, you need to make an incision along this line here and then stuff the strap of your clip onto the underside of this. And you want your clip to more or less end where the collar here starts, okay? And this is not true for both sides, so do experiment with it. So you'll see here, right, the start of the clip starts where the collar ends here, while as here, almost the end of the clip starts with it. So it's all about like figuring out how centered you want it to be, and if it's crooked, if one needs to be longer, if they need to be equidistant, whatever the case may be, you want to have built this when you are installing these, so that you can test that out and figure out the exact placement so that you can put it where it is that it needs to be. But that's pretty much it. I hope this was useful to you guys. I know a lot of you in the comments were asking to see the extra pouches. I'm still not a fan of the side pouch here, so I didn't do it this time around either. But it's a fairly easy build. You would just need to use this same pattern to kind of protrude it out and then do a flap that goes over it. So it's nothing too complicated. This was a little bit more difficult to build, and it looks like it. It looks like what I see in the pictures, so that works out for me. Obviously, you could probably use this with fabric as well. You would just need to give yourself a seam allowance and then stitch your pieces together if you wanted to make it like out of a ripstop or anything else like that. But yeah, that's been it for this one. I hope you guys learned something. Hope this one was useful. If you guys have any questions or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section. And if you want to see me do something else, let it be known as well. Maybe I'll get to it at some point. All right, this has been Cass from GiveWave Studios, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Cheers.